What up, everybody? Raising Kanan Season 4, Episode 8, titled Street Struck. We saw Lou Thomas catch his first bodies of Season 4, taking out Kenyana and Julius at the end of the episode because he knew they were coming for him and B Rilla after Lou stepped to them peacefully to try to get them not to try to rob Lowell Galfin again. But when Lou was killing Kenyana and Julius, he had a smile on his face like he got a high or a euphoria or something like that in the process. This was very similar to the expression on Jukebox's face when she caught her first body. And while this was taking place, the narrator, OG Kanan, foreshadowed Lou's return to the drug game, talking about hustlers have the same Jones for the game as junkies do for their drugs, because the game makes you feel strong, powerful, like nobody can touch you. The money, the bitches, the life, they Jones for that shit, just like a basshead does for that crack rock. The game feels good. If it didn't, nobody would die for it. And as someone who spent 10 years in the drug game and got out and never returned, Lou returning to the drug game is a tragedy. Especially because it's not like Lou doesn't have any other options and the streets is the only thing left for him. Right now, he already has a job in the music industry and has had success with one song that's already blown up, 411. But now it looks like Lou is returning back to the old Lou. And we really didn't get to see too much of the old Lou before he started having second thoughts about being in the game. Because Rock had Lou put down D-Wiz in the second episode of the series. And that's when he started to change. But the ironic thing is, just like it was the death of D-Wiz that made Lou start wanting out the game, it was the death of Kanan's other friend, Famous, that made Lou start jonesing for the game again, wanting to get that revenge. So now it looks like we're finally going to see Lou going back to pre-D-Wiz kill Lou, but this time only harder and colder, basically doing a full 360 and returning to where he started at. Almost like the old proverb says about the pig returning to roll around in the mud. Because right after killing D-Wiz, the very next episode, another avenue opened up for Lou in the music business when he went to serve Crown Camacho at his studio. At this point, we saw that Lou already had a passion for music because he knew more about the equipment in the studio than Crown did, telling the technician that he keeps up with that stuff by reading magazines. So at this point, we saw Lou start hanging out at the studio more and even started helping out Crown with the finances, and he was called the Money Man. But Rock didn't like that because she saw that the music business was distracting Lou from the game, telling Lou that his hobby was taken away from their business. Then Lou made a move with the Thomas family lawyer, Andre Barnes, to become 50% owner of Bulletproof Records. So now at this point, Lou was 50% in the game and 50% in the music business, but his heart at this point was in the music. By season 2, Lou was still in the game, but was becoming more and more unreliable because his focus was on the music. And it was even in season 2 when Lou thought he had become full owner of Bulletproof Records after killing Crown Camacho, only for Rock to manipulate the situation to where she ended up owning half the label. And throughout the first 2 seasons, Lou expressed his desire to get out the game to Rock, but she refused to let him out. But after the Italians blew up Rock's entire operation at the end of season 2 and also shot up Bulletproof Records, the Thomas family had to start over again. And this gave Lou his opportunity to get out the game when Rock decided to get out the game in the first half of season 3. And that even upset Lou even more considering Rock wouldn't let him out when he asked her. So at this point, Lou turned to the bottle hard with no plans of returning back to the drug game. He invested in Club View and put a studio in the back of that club. And at this point, Lou and Famous made the hit song 411 from the back of that club. But Lou's drinking continued to get worse to where he ended up in rehab at the end of season 3. And when he got out at the beginning of season 4, the song 411 had blew up, and Lou had the opportunity to go to work in the music industry for Lowell Galfin. So Lou was finally 100% in the music business, with no ties to the streets like Bulletproof Records would have been with Rock being 50% owner. Lou had finally achieved what he had been wanting. But just like after D-Wiz's death, Lou's heart was no longer in the streets. After the death of Famous, it seems like Lou's heart wasn't in the music as much either. But we saw the expression on his face when killing Julius and Kenyatta. Therefore, doing a full 360 like I said. But in season 1, when Lou was in a relationship with Jessica, who was also always trying to influence him to leave the drug game behind, letting him know that he didn't need it because he had real talent when it comes to music. But at one point, Jessica warned Lou that Rock was going to either get killed or go to prison, and that Lou was going to be right there with her. And now it looks like Lou's returning to the game, and we're most likely heading into the final season of the series, or the second to last season of the series. And it looks like there's a good chance that Jessica might have foreshadowed Lou's fate. And then also keep in mind what the narrator said at the end of episode 8 when Lou was killing Kenyatta and Julius, talking about how the game feels good, and if it didn't, people wouldn't die for it. Was this foreshadowing that Lou would die in the drug game? There's been a lot of speculation that Marvin might be taken out at the end of season 4. But what if that's just another pump fake, and it could be Lou who's the major death at the end of season 4. Then going back to Jessica, saying that Rock was either going to get killed or go to prison, and Lou would be there with her. The beginning of season 4 might have also foreshadowed Lou going to prison, because it showed Lou waiting in visitation at the prison to talk to B Rilla. And I thought all the way back at that point that it could be foreshadowing where Lou would end up. The episode 9 trailer has 2 detectives in the studio questioning Lou and B Rilla, and Imani Okoye is in the studio with them. Keeping in mind that Lou killed these men with no mask on a public street. Not to mention B Rilla saw the whole thing go down. And does Lou really know if he can trust B Rilla or not if the cops were to pressure him about what happened? In addition to that, Kenyatta's girl knew what was going on and could even tell the detectives that Lou Thomas was in their bookstore having a confrontation with Kenyatta just a couple days prior. That alone would probably make him the primary suspect, not to mention Crown Camacho's murder's a cold case also. And if the cops were really investigating into it, Lou would be a suspect for that kill also. But if Jessica's words are going to come to pass, Lou won't get locked up for either of those kills, at least not immediately. He will be getting locked up or killed at the same time that Rock does. Keeping in mind that there's a RICO case concerning Stefano Marchetti and the Italian Mafia coming in around 93 or 94. So there's a possibility that Lou and Rock could both get caught up in that as well. Either though it does look like Rock is about to go her separate way from the Italian Mafia in these next couple episodes. There was also a scene in season 3 where Lou told Rock that he used to follow her wherever she went. Could prison or the grave be the final place that Lou follows Rock to? Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.